We've talked about getting deeper in the NCAA tournament for years, and I think this year we got a really good draw, getting the chance to play Ohio State, a team that we've already played obviously once before earlier in the year, and I think all year we've been talking about Sweet 16 and whether that happens or not. I think if you want to get to a Sweet 16, you got to be talking about it. So I think the draw that we have is very feasible to do that. We're getting to take our band, we're getting to take our cheerleaders. Hopefully we'll make it a little bit of home court advantage for us up there in Kansas.
How much can you take away from a match like that, even though it was earlier in the year?
A lot, actually. Just getting a chance to take a look back at their film, and then we have 7 other films on them, actually, getting a chance to see all the things that they're still doing, very similar, how teams are scoring against them. What was really, really cool is to see how different we were against Wichita State this last weekend compared to how we played Ohio State the last time, so we're going to tweak some things this week for the next few days going into that match. The Valley's not mid-major in volleyball, and I'm hoping people figure that out. I mean, we're getting 3-4 teams in the NCAA tournament, and we're not a one-bid league anymore, so if you look at the number of bids that the league's got, from the Big Ten to the Pac-12 each having 8, I think we were right up there with the SEC having 4, ACC and us having 3. We're a power conference in volleyball. We are. Last year we got 4, this year we got 3, and I think we've got 3 teams that are going to go in and do a very good job.
And what about you guys as a program? I mean, you guys have got to be, the level of respect that you guys are getting has to be something that you're looking for.
Absolutely. I'm sure the Ohio State players are talking about revenge, but I'm sure the coaches are probably not really excited to play this again. If we play like we know how to play, I think it's going to be a heck of a competition, and I think with us getting votes in the top 25 poll, as ranked as high as we are in the mid-major poll, even though, like I said, I don't like to be compared to other mid-majors. I want to talk about being a major. I still think that it is respect around the country.
Can you talk about the process of, obviously, the selection show? Probably never gets old, and the excitement that goes in for it for you and the players?
Absolutely. And when we didn't win the conference tournament, I wanted to make sure our players didn't know that we were in. I knew we were in. I mean, yes, could I have been wrong, but I do the math over a number of years and know what we need to get in. But I wanted our players to still understand the process, that only the team that wins the conference tournament is the team that's actually going to get into the NCAA tournament. So it was still very exciting for our players because, we didn't let the cat out of the bag. We made them sit through it and watch, and I think when they really started to realize the coverage that was having from it on the TV and seeing it and watching the show and seeing the teams unveiled, they realized, like, wow, we're big time. Especially the freshmen that haven't had an opportunity to be through that process at all. So that was really exciting for them.
You mentioned obviously not winning the conference championship. Does that put a little chip on your guys' shoulder? Have you guys play a little angry?
I think it does, because it's so easy to come back to practice and look at all the things that you need to work on, even when you win. But there's nothing like getting beat and then really taking a critical look at your team and figuring out, well, what did they do to capitalize? What did we not do well? And the fact is that we missed 10 serves. Wichita State only missed 1 serve, so we can point out there the mistakes that we made. We made some key hitting errors down the stretch at different times, so we'll know that we can't do that against Ohio State. As far as I'm concerned, when you're playing in the Valley Tournament at the end of the year, that is somewhat postseason. You're playing the best of the best and teams that are going to be getting in the NCAA tournament. So I think our players are going to learn a lot from that and be really excited, because the loss hurt. I had to do more work to get our players to talk about turning the page, that we were the regular season champions and we lost the conference tournament, not the conference championship. So our players hurt, they felt it. I said, let it hurt for 24 hours. I think that's a good thing, but now we got to turn the page and be excited about what we get to do next. If you think about it, we're playing a team that I talked about would be a Sweet 16 team. We played Ohio State, we played Illinois. I thought Illinois had a really good shot to get in the NCAA tournament, but those are the teams that make it to the Sweet 16. So we were able to talk about that in the non-conference, that we got a taste of what it was like when we're playing UCLA, who might be a Final Four team. We're playing Hawaii, which could be a Sweet 16 team. We played Iowa State, we played Marquette, we played all these teams that are in the NCAA tournament, whether they go to the first round, second round, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. Our players got a taste of that level of competition. So it's huge, it's very important, and so we can reflect back on that going into this first round. We hope that we played the right schedule to prepare us to win in this environment. And this is a tough week. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of excitement, and you've got to keep the players in check in getting back to practice and getting back to fundamentals and getting us ready, so it's no different. In fact, what we did today is we wrote up a 4-team tournament. We're treating this like a non-conference tournament like we did at the beginning of the year, and there's 4 teams in it. We're not making it about the NCAA tournament or the Sweet 16. We're really talking about winning a small mini tournament like we did at the beginning of the year, and that's how we want to treat it, because that's really what it is. It's a four teams, you know, treating it like it's almost going to be like a round robin. But no, I don't want our players to feel ever that they've underachieved or that they've failed. If we go out and we do our best and we play our best and we get beat, we're not losers, okay? We're still going to be winners. We've had an incredible season. Yeah, if we go out and we don't perform our best, yeah, that's always a hard way to end your season on. But I'm confident that we're going to go in, we're going to perform our best, we're going to play well and represent well, and so I'll feel good about the outcome.
But that says something about where you guys are at as a program, doesn't it? That you're not just happy to be here.
Absolutely. That's the first thing that we've talked about. And I think we have to continue to talk like that. I think it's so hard to get to the NCAA tournament for us. Do I think it's harder than being in a power conference? I absolutely do. You can finish in the top 8 in a power conference and get into the NCAA tournament, where after we lost the first 2 matches of the conference season, we had to win. We had to continue to win, and we couldn't get beat. So, you know, what's harder? To play like you can never lose and never drop a match, or to know that you can get beat up throughout your conference season? So it's a tough road to get here for us, and that's why I'm probably more proud of our at-large bids, you know, than anything else. And just another great opportunity, obviously, this weekend. And yes, getting deeper in the NCAA tournament is something that is currently our new goal, and will continue to be our new goal in this program.
After losing those first 2 conference games, what kind of mindset had to change in order to go on that 17-match winning streak?
You know, it was kind of fun for me, as I had a meeting with the team yesterday, and I pulled out my notes from the meeting we had after we lost to Southern Illinois by 2 points in the 5th set. And I said, not to be the bearer of bringing up bad news, but the top of my notes said we were 9-7 at that point. So we were 9-7, we had lost 4 in a row. We lose the first 2 conference games. I wanted the team at that point to know we had not earned an at-large bid, even though I felt we had done what we needed in the non-conference. Because we had started out 0-2 and lost to 2 top 50 RPI teams, I pointed out the rest of the opportunities that we would have, and I knew that was going to be only against Wichita State one more time, Southern Illinois one more time. We had to beat Northern Iowa. We had to probably sweep Northern Iowa. But the next time around, we couldn't afford to lose to SIU, and we couldn't afford to lose to Wichita State. So I pointed out a roadmap for our team so they knew exactly what we needed to do. And then here I was yesterday going, we were 9-7 and now we're 26-8. Holy cow. I mean, that in itself shows you that we went 2 months without losing a match. I mean, I think that spoke volumes of how we responded after that meeting and turned around and really notched it up. And yes, we made lineup changes. We made some key changes. We talked about doing some different things, and all that had to change as well, but they did it, and they bought into it. And player 1 to 18, we wouldn't be here without them, because throughout that winning streak, we were getting beat in practice by the team on the other side of the net. And so I'd say, all right, that's our loss for the week. We just got beat. Let's get back to winning, because I wanted our mentality to be that it wasn't about the win streak, but losing didn't feel good. It didn't feel good in practice. I mean, our starters would shake hands with the other side like it's a competition. We'd go over to get a water break, you know, and it's like, hey, you lost a game 6-2, or you lost the 5th set 15-13, and it hurt. So the team on the other side of the net, all 18 players are all responsible for where we're at right now.